discuss an existing repair, press 1. To make a payment using our automated payment line.
So I can assure the landlords that today, now I'm feeling a bit better in myself, and I've woke up in a different state of mind, that I'll be contacting Universal Credit in a minute, as soon as I've got off this phone call, to alert them to the rent change that should have been already told to Universal Credit by the landlords, so they could pay the rent from that date. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
That should have been done, but due to Cross Keys going into my Universal Credits last time when I was released from prison, for a debt that was over the council tax payments or the spare bedroom payments, which was the shortfall in the rent at that time. When I queried it with the guy from the payment section of Cross Keys, and said, well, you can't do that. You can't just go into someone's benefits. He said, well, we can do what we want. And I said, really? Okay, so I had a long chat with Universal Credit at the time, and I said, look, I don't know how they're doing it. I give them joinder anyway when I have a chat with them discussing the rent payments or whatever. But I have no time give them permission to go into my benefits to take any payments. And they said, okay. So what would you like us to do about it? I said, well, it's benefit fraud, isn't it? I'm not allowing anyone to go into my benefits without my permission. The government's not allowing it. So that would be attempted benefit fraud, wouldn't it? So do not make any extra payments once that amount that they've helped themselves to is cleared. So Universal Credit was keeping on top of that. And as soon as it got to the level what Cross Keys had told them, then they cut off the payments to Cross Keys. And it was then a private agreement between me and the landlords where I pay the spare bedroom tax directly to the landlords. Correct? Right?
Yeah.
That's just the background to it. So what I'm going to do now, because Cross Keys are obviously being awkward and haven't put in the rent amount, the new rent amount to Universal Credit so they could make the simple rent payments, therefore increasing an imaginary debt, which I discussed in that recorded phone call yesterday. I had my words twisted where the lady tried to say imaginary rent, and I said, no, don't twist my words and take advantage of me while I'm in a mental state, because I've already told you about that. So what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to contact Cross Keys with the number you're just going to give me of the new rent amount and sort it out properly. Okay, without any stress, aggravation or triggering my PTSD any further, and we'll get this sorted out properly, okay? Like men do. Like men do, sorry. I didn't need to be phoned up before I was ready to wake up. And I picked up on the tone in the voice as soon as the phone call started yesterday, and I thought, well, she's in a mardy mood. What have I done wrong now? So, you know, I kept the conversation as polite as possible. And today I'm in a more positive mood and getting down to business. So, you know, my whole phone demeanour and everything has changed today from what it was yesterday. And I still haven't had my cup of coffee, if you see what I mean. But it's the way I'm being treated. It's triggering my mental problems, which is PTSD.
Apologise.
All right, yeah, no, that's no problem. I did explain that fully to the lady yesterday before I started talking, but she decided, well, I'm in control. No. I thought, oh, what are you having a hissy fit with me for? It's pissing me off now. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
all right, thank you for your understanding anyway. What I'm going to do is...
I will note it on the account, yeah.
Yeah, how much is that actual figure? Let me just get a pen so I can tell Universal Credit.
Is it the monthly amount, the total monthly amount?
No, the actual rent amount that they put up.
So it's 114 and 71 pence a week
Right.
now.
Yeah, and that's...
Now I give you the monthly.
hang on. I'm just looking for a bit of paper now to write it on. Of course I've tried cleaning up, moved all the blooming paper, haven't I? There we go, there's the back of a cross keys antisocial behaviour warning letter that I do. It's a blank bit of paper, isn't it? Right, the rent amount is 100 and...
So the weekly amount is 114.71.
£114.71, yeah?
Yeah, that's the new weekly amount.
And that went in...
To work it out, it's £506.63 a week. I mean, a month, sorry.
Yeah, well, they deal with all that. I don't, because numbers just confuse my head when I'm on medication, so...
Yeah, if you give them the weekly, though, they should be able to...
Yeah, and this begun when? On the 1st of April, was it?
Yeah, that's from the 1st
Of course, yeah. So the new tax year that's about. So we're doing all this right business-wise, if you see what I mean. So...
Yeah.
So all they do is backdate it to the 1st of April, and that solves that problem, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Then I'll just be liable for the spare bedroom tax, which I'm paying as normal. I did tell the landlords that I will be paying the £70 this week to settle up the last one. And then that's that. That's all that caught up. So I'm just paying 2 payments on this month's instead of 1 payment. And that's all that sorted out. And then the actual debt amount, because I'm paying the £70 instead of the £62, which is what the spare bedroom tax is, any debt should be going down automatically each week, which is why I'm paying the £70 to round it up, if you see what I mean. And it was only, months ago, it was only, I think it was just over £100. I don't know where that imaginary debt appeared from, because the rent account was all clear at one point, and then it suddenly started creeping up again. And I thought, what the hell's going on? So, yeah, that's no problem then. All right, so I'm going to get on to Universal Credit and leave you in peace to get on with your days, all right? But that's what the problem was yesterday morning. I was being denied entry into Peterborough, so I was stuck in another town, and I was still proper stressed out about it, while the police was trying to arrest me and everything. If you see what I mean. So I'm looking at the antisocial complaint order. It's all to do with that. So I've contacted the police. The police can talk amongst the police and find out where all these erroneous complaints are coming from and deal with it. Because they're trying to entrap me now for something that I'm nothing to do with me, and I haven't got a clue what it's all about. But we went into a roadblock after I was denied access to train travel back to Peterborough. So on the main road back to Peterborough, a roadblock was set up after they denying me travel on the train to get back. Yeah, that's why the police were contacted, because there's something going on and they need to sort it out amongst themselves, the same as, what applies to the business side of living in a council house, and then I stay out of any corruption that's going on, where everybody's living off the benefit system, including the landlords, because it's the benefit system that pays for the rent. So I stay away from any corruption, any illegal stuff, keep myself positive, and then if there is anything coming, it will come from the 3 setups, including my imprisonment, where Cross Keys withheld evidence for the court case, if you see what I mean. So the police are discussing it amongst the police, because there is that third setup in motion at the moment, and for some reason my creator is guiding me away from it all the time, so it's simply failing now. All right.
I do apologise. Yeah.
No, you don't need to apologise, because you're only an employee of them. I'm just explaining it to you so you're aware of the predicament I'm in. Okay? And I've done it in a polite, courteous manner, haven't I?
Yeah.
So you've got a recording of it. I am telling you now, I've recorded this conversation as well, because I have to cover myself legally with my mental condition, because people question and try to have it manipulated. Okay? All right, so thank you very much for your help today, Hannah, and I'll leave it at that, okay? You have a lovely day at work.
You too.
All right. Well, I'm disabled. I'm just going to get my dogs on my bed and get my first coffee down my neck and get down to business, all right?
Thank you.
All right, no problem at all. You have a lovely day. Take care now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So I've got the number of the rent amount. Like I said, third setup in motion. So I've warned the landlords discreetly that whatever this attempt is, by whoever, is now being fully investigated. The courts and everybody else are fully aware that all that evidence wasn't released to the system, and I was in prison because of it. Right, so the whole court case didn't have any private legal counsel, didn't have any private medical counsel. The lockdown was literally to monitor everything on phone calls, so even legal counsel, because we couldn't go in to see our solicitors, wasn't, it was a proper fucked up court case. For rounding up political dissidents and enemies of the government. And it was COVID that they used to do all that. You know, right, let's get all the dissidents criminalised, set them up, put them in prison. Then we can monitor them if they go abroad, monitor their bank accounts for suspicion of a crime, blah, blah, blah. So when people are doing absolutely nothing wrong, but they've been set up with this label of whatever, for whatever reason, my particular setup was for AVH, where someone attempted to kill me and then wouldn't leave me alone and kept provoking until I got up one morning with a grouchy head on from the amitriptyline, what the doctor had been prescribing me. The guy told me to go and hang myself while I was in a depressed state. So a bit of verbals going backwards and forwards. Then he ran at me, started chest bumping me and all that sort of stuff, and then bang. And then as he stood there thinking about moving in for a second attempt to punch me, bang, again. And that's what I got in prison for. But they withheld all the complaint logs, everything else, including of that incident. The doctor, luckily, released it on my full medical record, what they wanted access for. The date of the complaint and the date that I went to register that attempted murder charge against my neighbour was actually on my medical record, and my doctor had advised me to go to the police, which I had done, and then the police tried to claim they have no record of the incident. So we'll deal with this first, because it was all about getting me in prison first and trying to get me evicted to get me out of the area. So, yeah, there you go. That's the truth of that matter. Right, let's go and get that first coffee, shall we? You stay there, baby boy. You're all nice and clean and fluffy, aren't you? Look at you. And happy. Yeah. So I woke up, watched a positive video. Just having a cup of coffee. And taking my meds. The next lot of meds are ready to go and collect. So, where are they? In that little tub there. Yeah. Good morning, my nice little clean boys and girls. I'm going to come over for a cuddle in a minute. Like I said, I've got washing up to do. I'm going to be stuck on the phone for ages now to sort everything out. My ankle's hurting, my knees hurting. I'm hearing all my noises if I was going to be sleeping. Yeah, so I need to do my lawnmower in, but because I've been behaving myself, I'm getting myself a new computer monitor TV. Not to be connected to live TV whatsoever from the beginning by Ethernet cable, internet cable or anything, or normal TV cable. So it's just going to be a computer monitor. Any change out of that, I'm paying off the landlords for the spare bedroom tax, which you just heard me talk about. I paid one out of my disability of £70 and one out of my, hang on, Marnie, one out of my benefit this week of £70, clearing up that debt, which takes that imaginary debt down by £70, because that's what it was over, the spare bedroom tax. Right. Hang on, Marnie. Come on in. Come and have your little cuddles. Come on, baby. That's it. Pack cuddle time. No, you can't get out there, Marnie, to go and pee on their bedding. Get out of the way so she can get up. Get out the way. Thank you. I'm only walking around in my boxer shorts, but... Right, keep yourself still, because I don't want my coffee knocked over. Arnie, move your arse. You can't get out in the hallway to piss on their bedding, starting off the... Come on, up you get, little lady. You're having a little struggle this morning, are you? Get your nose out of her wanny. Look, Hulkster's protecting himself. She's gone to lay down and greet her sister. And what are you doing? You're going to lay down next to your willow, aren't you? And put your lipstick dick away, cheese end. Go on, I don't want to be looking at that first thing in the morning. That's it, you cuddle up with your little lady and look at your brother. There you go. I don't know what lawnmower it is, because if I let my dogs out unattended, it could be the gardener mowing the garden with a dog, couldn't it? I'm not sure which angle it's coming from. Probably to shame me into, yeah, cut your grass, clean your dog shit, do this, do that, turn your music down, so we can hear your personal information and use it against you. Yeah, there you go. It's the gardener out the back from Margaret's, waiting for me to let my dogs out first thing. Right. So we've done something different today, haven't we? Right. So she's a lovely lady. She's, I don't bother her get the hump. It's very polite. Got a lovely dog who's a Staffy cross as well. It's just my dogs are protecting their females at the moment, like you can see. So when the landlord's, you know, what's he recorded today, because I'm not publishing the video of me talking to the landlords yet, I'm going to put this one up of my, oh, well, this is the video, isn't it? Derp. There you go. I thought I'll just, yeah, I've not taken my meds yet, have I? So I'm not fully awake, but I'm in a good mood. There you go. So if I'd have just opened my back door and let the dogs out unattended, yeah, we would have had dramas first thing, wouldn't we? So why is she being called round earlier and earlier? By the said instigator. Do you see what I mean now? Last time it was later, but because I'm chopping and changing my routines, today it's early. Because he's thinking, oh, he's going to let his dogs out, his curtains are open. No, they're all having their pet cuddle on the bed. So that's another fail, isn't it, Margaret? If you see my point. So if the gardener's sort of logging when she gets asked to come out and do the gardening, especially if it's at certain times, then yeah. Well, we know from listening to him that yesterday morning at a certain time he was in a very triggered state. So yeah, do you see how I'm looking at that? So if you come round and do my garden cutting for me tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in the morning, when he's going to be in this triggered state, we'll see if we can get him to react over that when he lets his dogs out. Ooh. Well, I've got one dog alert now because she's associating that noise with the lawnmower, the dog barking at the end of the garden with the lawnmower now, isn't she? So she's alert to it. The other dogs are just like not reacting because I'm nice and calm, but she's associating the noise now with the barking dog. So when I go out and let them out, I will automatically rush to the end of the garden thinking there's going to be a dog there. And of course it's going to be Margaret standing in the garden waiting for the dogs to bark at her. Right? So that's a little bit of ahead of time thing, and we'll see if it plays out that way, eh? Right, cup of coffee. And then with my second cup of coffee, I'll have me meds. But when I've had my coffee, I'll ring up the benefits people. No rush. I've got enough hours in the day. I'm disabled, haven't I? Aren't I? So as long as it's done within business hours and I'm not getting distracted by my own thing, because that's time and date sensitive as well. So, yeah, today I've got to photograph Willow's documentation and get it sent by recorded delivery with the funds that I've got left to DEFRA, a government department, who want paying so they don't come and murder my dog. Right? So that's extortion and coercion. Demanding money by menacing, isn't it? It's a protection racket. While they're gathering taxes for their war fund. And when the war kicks off, there won't be an overcrowding with the housing stock, so they'll have to lower the rent then because they won't be able to fill the housing stock. Because everyone will be dead. So that's that little fucking system fucked up, isn't it? And they keep pushing for that war to sell arms, but you can't sell arms if there's no one alive to sell them to. Can you? So that's that industry going to collapse as well. You see what I mean? And I'm not an AI that can work all that out. But carry on. Oh, what a carry on. No, he hasn't come out yet. His curtains are up. Dogs aren't barking. Oh, that's not working. You getting it now? It's all about how I react to it, isn't it? As they're trying to set up these little situations to entrap me. So it's all about keeping calm, keeping positive, leave it to the powers to be to sort out the powers that be, and they'll weed out all the corrupt idiots, any corrupt idiots that are feeding off the benefit system, like landlords who are using the law and manipulating the law to do what they want. They get stopped from doing what they want, and then they set a hissy woman on you to get on to the benefits case and ask for them more money for them. And that's how the corrupt cycle goes round and round and round, isn't it? They didn't need to put up the rent, did they? The house isn't worth any more until they sort out the mildew problem. Right? Which they haven't done, have they? All they've done is put a bit of paint over it. They haven't sorted out the problem at all, so the problem still exists for the next tenant. Should I leave this property? And the next tenant will then have to go through the same process of trying to work it all out. But it was me that signed for the solar panels on the roof. It's me that's going to be benefiting from them solar panels because they're mine, not the landlord's. I had to sign for them. They're my property. They want control of that energy source, don't they, to profit from even more, like greedy little piggies. I spoke with a new neighbour that moved in. He said, well, I don't get any benefit from my solar panels on the roof. I said, oh, right. Why is that then? He said, I don't know. I don't get any benefit from it. Oh, right. I'll see what they've done there. So the next tenant that's left with the solar panels doesn't get any benefit or help with their electric bill from that solar panel use. The next tenant that moves in doesn't get any because the landlords have taken control of the contract of the solar panels, therefore profiting from what we've had to sign for. You see how it works now? But they used their buddies in the council, who they get kickback contracts like that from, to commit all this fraud and shit. While we're the ones that are being demonised on the benefit system as being greedy and money chasers and whatever. No, we're just trying to survive. This is how that whole benefit system is being abused by the greedy rich bastards attached to it. And they call it business, but it's all corrupt. It's benefit fraud. So, yeah. There you go. I'm not committing benefit fraud. Everything I've stated on my government contracts is legal, truthful, and all above board. I've not been devious in my contracts, breaking common law. So, yeah, these little business practices and their little threats of intimidation, coercion, and violence from their enforcers, the police, who they use to set people up and put pressure on them to distract them from the business side of it. When you uncover it and get a bit too close to the truth, they use them to try and set you up, harass you, and get you focused on that, so you're taking your eye off the real ball, which is the money, innit? Always follow the money. That way you catch out the corrupt. So how we doing then, doggies? You all nice and relaxed again now, Lola? So I'm keeping you safe from any setups, aren't I, outside? Same with my other dogs here, look. Well, Lola's not my dog, that's my son's dog. Hulkster's my dog, Marnie's my dog, and the addition that I brought in to stabilise the pack and calm down the male energy was Willow. We did intend to breed Marnie or Hulkster with Willow, but we was told that she could only breed with XLs. Because I was just looking after them. Then the law changed and I was stuck with Willow. So I've paid and done everything that I was told to do, or bullied into doing, by these bully types in government with their bulldog breed of army soldiers. Conveniently. And we have the bully tax, so they can all go and play on the battlefield, which isn't going to be a battlefield for long, because the nuclear weapons will start firing as soon as they enter the battlefield. Crossing Russia's red line. The last red line. So, do you want to look out the window, do you, just to check that there's no dog out there with the lawnmower? Yep, because that's how you're seeing it, isn't it? You're associating lawnmower with other barking dog now. That's your anxiety, so lay down, little lady. That's why you're teamed up with little anxious Hulkster. Can you see her walking past the window, can you? Trying to see in discreetly. And they can't see nothing, can they? Because I could put obstacles in their way, like they put obstacles in my way of life. So they can't look in, can they? They can't see me laying on my bed with my pack of dogs. The same as I'm not even checking to see if she's alive this morning. Has her curtains opened? Is she alright? No, I'm not even looking. I don't check for that anymore because I'm not interested. Why should I have concern for someone that's, being so vindictive and evil? Fuck 'em. Focus on myself. Doesn't mean I don't have empathy, does it? It just means I'm not interested anymore in what's going on around here. Never used to be like that. We used to help her. My kids used to mow her garden. I used to mow her garden. We used to paint her shed for her. After getting the old sob story, oh, well, our children don't come round, they don't help me, blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, let's feel sorry for Margaret. And she's been doing it with every other bloke that came along ever since. Once we stopped helping her and cracking on with her own thing. Right. So she's been busy getting the gardener to spray weed killer all up round the overgrown fence lines, which my dogs then go and pee up and get these little poisonous tags on their legs and underbellies. Yeah? Because she's making sure that the gardener uses weed killer to cover up the weed killer, the really dangerous stuff that she's been using, which is the Roundup. So the gardener's probably using the safer version because she's got an animal with her when she's doing the work. And when she was spraying it up the neighbour's fence, she saw me watching and she stopped doing it. She didn't dare do it along my fence because I'd already said about my dogs being poisoned by Margaret's weed killer. Yeah. So she didn't spray anything up my fence, to my knowledge. And my strimmer and lawnmower all broke down at the same time, conveniently. So now I'm the dirty mental man over the back now with the overgrown garden because it's been left for a week or two. You know what I mean? So because I've been behaving it myself, I'm ordering myself a new TV this week as my computer monitor, so I don't have to squint and that at the TV because I can't afford to go and get my new glasses. I'll sort my teeth out, so I'm going to order my new computer screen first, get the lawnmower with the change after filling my freezer up and paying my bills. Yeah. And I'll be cracking on with that. Glasses after that. Teeth. I should have... Yes, I know you're picking up on it as well now and thinking, dog, lawnmower. Yes. Know the rules. She's laying down with her fella, so you can't interfere, can you? No, you lay down with yours. Good boy. Little Miss Anxious is laying down with Mr. Anxious. Mr. Confident is laying down with Mrs. Confident. So they're the top dogs in this pack order. They're the followers. And when Willow's woken up, I'll give her a proper cuddle. We'll have kisses and cuddles and that. And then we'll all go out in the garden together. But it'll be a long phone call with the benefits people because they take ages to answer the phone. So I'll be on the phone around about an hour or maybe less, depending on it, because it's now getting near the middle of the week rather than the beginning of the week when all the phone lines are tied up. So I would have been stressed out by the landlords yesterday. being told to jump on the phone and deal with the benefit system on a Monday morning when the phone lines are all tied up with everybody doing the same thing. So I would have got even more stressed out, not be able to calm down. And I'll probably get some ag off the universal credit people for being so hyper and stressed, who then hang up the phone themselves because they can't handle me. And then I get even more stressed and angry, and you can see how it all sort of rolls out. It's just one fucking situation, antagonising, rolling into the next one, which antagonises and makes the energy level rise and get more and more dangerous. But they're all playing games with my life for their own little corrupt reasons, because it's always about money. Ah, dear. Yeah, he hasn't opened the back door yet. What's going on? He's not letting the dogs out in case I've got the dog with him. Yeah, so he's being considerate to the gardener who's just trying to do her job. What I'm going to do, I'm going to let the girls out first, not the boys rushing out there. I'm going to let the girls out first so they can go and say hello to the gardener. After checking if her dog's out the van or not, I'll have a polite little chat with the neighbour, with the gardener, while I'm having my vape. And then I'll let the boys out. Well, I'm not reaching for a cigarette, am I? So 42 minutes worth of video here. There's a 2-hour video backed up, waiting to be posted. But I'm holding that one back. I'm going to watch it with my carer before I post it. Right? Because I've already put the warning one up first last night and transferred it to Facebook for the said problem to be corrected that's causing my son's problem. So you happy, boy? Happy, girl? You happy today? You haven't had any accidents in the hallway at all, have you? You've been a very, very good girl. You're not doing protest pisses or shits now, are you? Nope. See? Which is sort of telling me it's either dominant behaviour or separation anxiety when I go out. But you're all 4 of you are rescue dogs. So that'll explain the separation anxiety, won't it? But Willow and Marnie don't have separation anxiety. They're just confident dogs who do dominant marking. Even though Willow's been neutered, she still does the dominant marking. So that doesn't cure dominant behaviour, does it? It just stops them from breeding. The same as Wi-Fi radiation in schools, isn't it? To mess about with children's reproductive systems. Oh, so it's not just dogs they're trying to stop from breeding, is it? They're working on the next generation while they distract the parents and the grandparents. Oh, so that is the real population control going on then, while there's a threat of the Third World War, which they can't get the support for from the people that they need to cull. Because it's all about the, what was it that Prime Minister Johnson kept banging on about? What was that specific phrase he used? Was it herd security? You know, like we're all cattle. We're a herd. Right? They're tax farmers using humans as cattle. While they do what with their taxes? Scurry it offshore in offshore bank accounts. And use high-powered accountants to hide all their profits and tax illegal tax cons that they've profited from. See? Corruption. Well, that's starting to bubble a bit, isn't it? Which she's telling me there must be a bit too much vape juice getting in the chamber, so that would tell me the heater coil's starting to go, because it's not heating up the oil properly. It's letting enough smoke through, so... Right. I think we'll wind this video up now. Well, I think I've got a dog hair in the bottom of that as well, so... Making the smoke taste a bit jank out the vape. There's probably a bit of a dog hair got in there somewhere. It's sitting down the bottom of the coil. They get in through the breathing vent, don't they, on the top of the thingy. The breathing in tube. So it's probably safer for me to have a cigarette at the moment, to be quite honest with you, until I can clean it all out properly. When I change the coil and give it a little clean out and see if there's a dog hair stuck to the coil in the bottom, which is what I found last time. But it gets in through that, then goes down the fucking little stem inside it and sticks to the coil heaters or the filters on the coil. You just have to put up with it until you can change the coil, because as soon as you take the coil out, all the liquid comes out of it and everything, and it turns into a mess everywhere, slimy mess. Even sitting in the car the other night, someone was asking, what's that fucking smell? Well, that was my vape, with vape juice in it, but right on the end of its battery level, so I'd run out of, my lighter had been sabotaged, where other people was using it. So that lighter's completely fucked now. Got to buy another one of them. This one, yeah, let someone have a go on me vape, because he'd run out of tobacco and he was stressing right out because the women have been stressing him out. And my vape starts fucking about. Let him have a go on my scooter, but my scooter hasn't started messing about yet. So, you know what I mean? I let him have a little go on the way to the station the other night. And shouted at him, well, bring the fucking scooter back because my knee's fucking hurting and I don't want to walk up the path. So, oh yeah, sorry. I said, see, quite fun, aren't they? Yeah, but they don't go that fast. It's not meant to, is it? Yeah, but it goes the same speed as I cycle, or used to be able to cycle. Now I can't cycle that speed anymore because of my lungs and knees, so it's still getting me there faster than me having to put in the energy to ride the bike, which I'm struggling with. So, yeah. All I need to do now is to solve the problem with the hands and the dropping shit. So I'm going to invest in a mini electric dishwasher on next month's pay cycle, which will be paid for out my disability benefit, not my universal credit, because I'm buying things for my disability out of my disability benefit and my normal living allowance out of my other benefit, which is the correct way of doing it, while I've got the government spying on my bank account saying, you know, well, we need to know what they're spending their benefits on. Are they spending the disabled benefits on bills now? If they are, they shouldn't be spending it on bills. So when they see me having to make a payment to the landlords out of my disability benefit just to free up the money to buy a couple of fence panels, then pay 2 lots back to the landlords while I'm having a month off buying any more fence panels, and replacing my computer monitor, that's because I've juggled my finances to do that, to free up the money to do it. So the money what I would have spent on fence panels this month, I've spent on the TV, which is my computer monitor, so I can do medical portal stuff and all that sort of stuff, like for clinics, for my private medication, unless we can force the government out of office and get it all done through the NHS under the next government. Because the government work for us, don't they? Not the other way round. When they start doing it the other way round and hating on the people that put them in fucking power and attacking the population through war crimes with their bioweapons, and then turn round and tell us, oh, we're really sorry about that, but the scientists gave us the wrong advice. No, you knew exactly what you was doing, and we're pressing for war crimes against the people of this country. Now you're all fleeing the sinking ship like rats, joining other parties, because you know it's over. Right? So they're all joining Reform Party. So Reform Party is going to be full of all those corrupt idiots that are now jumping from the Conservative Party like dirty little globalist rats. They've already infected the Labour Party. And now they're going to try and do the same with the Reform Party to corrupt that party as well, to maintain their positions of power. So you can see who they all are because they're all jumping ship now, like rats, corrupt little rats. So something different's got to happen, innit? What would that something different be? Oh, that's right. The country would have to lose a war, wouldn't they? And be invaded to force through all the change. Oh dear. Go on, Mr. Putin. Take them all out. We're only changing it from one set of gangsters to another anyway, aren't we? So, at least we're going to have enough fuel and a roof over our heads, aren't we? At the end of it, no matter who's in charge, because they're all playing the same fucking game, aren't they? If you see my point. So why fucking worry? What needs to be done's got to be done, isn't it? And if I throw a little bit of religion in that, just to tie it up nicely to an hour video, because we're on 56, I can see them manipulating the Muslims into believing the Gog and Magog and Russia and the, Russia backing the Muslims, and the other half of Rome is Rome's hammers, the Americans. Two halves of Rome get pitted against each other at the end in both books, but in one book it's called Armageddon, and in the other book it's called the Malhammer. So again, even that's being manipulated and corrupted, because they're trying to manipulate the public to think, well, it's got to happen. The West has got to fight the East, and the East is the one that wins in one book, and in the other book it says that God wins and the Jews win. Right? But in both books it clearly tells you at the end of it all, God destroys everything because he's fucking sick of having his authority challenged, and then he recreates it all again. Right, okay, so why do we need the war then, the Third World War, to fucking bring all that about? We don't. Because if we learn the lesson before it happens, it doesn't happen, does it? That's the leap of faith. Trust in the Creator, and then the Creator doesn't fucking do it. It just says, right, okay, well, that person's learnt. I'm going to take that person out of that equation and put them there, while the others learn the same lesson. There you go. Well, look at you, you little cutie. Look at you two. Oh, Marnie's dreaming away, twitching away in his sleep, because you've sidled up beside him. Now he's dreaming of you. Right, she's just got to lay up enough against him so she's touching him, so she can get into his dreams when he should be dreaming of his Willow. So you're being very sneaky, aren't you, little lady? See, a little fucking testosterone starting to build up in him, isn't it? Plop. You know what I mean? And I know that's the case because Willow was giving his nether regions a little wash first thing in the morning. He got too excited and shot his bolt all over me fucking bed. And she was only being loving and giving him a clean up, not noshing him off. Excuse my French. I don't care, it just got washed off. It's all bleached and washed out, so no worries there. Don't you have a wet dream, Marnie? Willow's watching and listening, and she's starting to Twitch streaming as well. So they might even be dreaming about each other. Who knows? And Lola might be trying to get in on it, because Hulkster's more cool about the whole situation. He's like, okay, you keep doing that too much, and every time you start looking at my brother, I'm going to jump on your back and start shagging you. Which is what Hulkster does to put her in her place. And then they get the zoomies and run round the garden. There you go, 101, that'll do. Right, have a lovely Tuesday, folks.